Hey guys, I'm the owner of FloorTech Concrete Coatings in South Florida. I've been working with Mark and his team over at Tightline. Since working with them, our business has completely exploded. We've literally doubled our business using their framework. They've helped us with not just Google ads, Facebook ads, website build out. We've seen our SEO rankings just completely skyrocket since working with them, and we're here today. We're about to launch a TV commercial. These guys are totally awesome. If you're looking to explode your concrete coating company, reach out to Mark and his team at Tightline.
Amvet Concrete Coatings is the exclusive Pentec products dealer in Brevard County. At Amvet, we exceed our customer standards by using only Pentec products, the highest quality coatings products on the market today. The Pentec difference is clear when tested against other common chip coatings like epoxy and substandard polyurea. Our coatings are slip resistant, have a high shine, and come in many shades and colors.
Amvet Concrete Coatings has transformed hundreds of concrete surfaces into works of art throughout the Space Coast. For a free quote, log on to amvetcc.com.
All right, welcome to the Xano 521 podcast. My name is Mitch McKinney, and I'm here with our owner, Jay Bryant. How you doing today?
Well, Mitch, you finally got me in front of the camera, so I'm doing okay. He knows how much I hate cameras, but I'm excited about this podcast series we're going to be working on.
Yeah, it's going to be great. At Xano 521, we transform the spaces where you live, work, and play. We serve all of Central Florida, all the way from Orlando up to St. Augustine.
Yep.
And to say the least, we're grateful that you are tuning in and joining us today. Before we jump into today's episode, we just humbly ask that you would just take a quick second to like and subscribe to this channel on YouTube or on whatever platform that you're tuning in with today. Your support would mean the world to us. So, Jay, here we are. Epic day for us because today is our first ever episode.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Who would have ever thought that this is where we would be and this is what we would be doing?
Yeah, it's going to be good.
I know you love it. I've got a lot of questions about all things concrete coatings, and I'm hoping that you have a lot of answers for us. And so looking forward to your insights. Before we kind of jump into that, though, I think it'd be good to kind of give our listeners a little insight into you. I know you love talking about yourself. But I think it'd be good for you to share a little bit about you, a little bit about your background, and a little bit about our company. So
Sure, Mitch, we'll do. Yeah, I'm Jay Bryant. I'm a former military guy. Spent about 25, almost 30 years in the military and law enforcement and government service. My wife and I spent the last 6 years over in Indonesia serving at a company over there before we decided to bring ourselves back here to what we call the land of the big PX, back here to the United States. And we decided we wanted to start a business. We wanted something that we could service other people. Home services seems to be very challenging in Florida. When we moved back here, we found out that
that's to say the least.
A lot of people had a hard time with home services, showing up on time, doing what they said they were going to do. So we decided we were going to start a business and kind of break that mold a little bit. So we got into the surface protection industry. We had a blast working together. And then all of a sudden the business started to scale a little bit, and we continued to grow and entered into concrete coatings. So that was in 2015. Here we are, just beginning of 2024, and we're just excited about what is happening here at Xano 521.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff is happening. And so thank you for sharing that. Also, I think it'd be good to give, as we start this, to give a little why behind the what as to why we're even having this conversation. Why are we doing this podcast? Because I know this is not something that you and I would ever think or imagine we'd be doing. So why are we doing this? Why are we having this conversation?
Well, most people find it very difficult to find a good service provider. It's challenging out there. There's a lot of big companies who are just really profit over people. There's a lot of companies out there who just are what we call tailors with trailers, and they just want to go out and nab a quick buck, and they don't provide good customer service. They don't provide good service overall. The quality of their workmanship is bad. There's a lot of stories here in Florida where people take deposits and they'll run and never see them again. So we just want to kind of get the word out there to our viewers that there are good companies, and we want to tell people how to find them, what to look for, and how to get what you pay for in the end.
And at this point, the concrete coatings industry has exploded. There's no shortage of companies or products out there. And so it's kind of like, if you're a customer on the customer end, it's like, how do you even navigate through all of that?
Right.
And so I know that clarity and information are a big part of what we're trying to do. We want our customers to be as informed as they possibly can. And so so that's kind of the goal of what we're going to be doing each episode. And so again, I've got a lot of the questions. I'm going to be acting as the customer.
Okay.
You are going to be acting as the expert. So I'll be asking you a lot of questions. Hopefully you'll have a bunch of answers.
I'll make something up if I don't.
All right, so as we kick off this conversation, let's say I'm a customer and this is what I need help with. So the other night I was scrolling through Facebook and I clicked an ad for a concrete coatings company or something that looked like that. And now it seems like I'm getting endless amounts of ads. They're spamming me up, different companies, different products, different systems. And so I have this garage or I have this driveway or this pool deck that I'd like to get coated, but I really I'm so overwhelmed right now. I have no idea where to start, but I need to know, I need some information. So where do I start? Where would I start? What would you recommend in terms of selecting a company?
Sure. So there's basically 5 different things that I would look at I think are important.
Okay.
The first thing we always do is review the reviews. Get on the company's website if you're getting these this marketing material coming through on Facebook or wherever. Or if you did a search on Google and it popped up and you want to check them out, first place to go is the review. Check them out. Reviews are good. 4 or 5 star reviews are awesome if you see that. 1 or 2 star reviews, a bit concerning. I'd be reading into those a little bit. But you're looking for things that are unique, that are telling about the customer service, the quality of service, how the company responded to the problems, those type of issues. That'll kind of paint the initial picture for you on the company.
That's good.
Secondly, business practice. I think there's a lot of things that we can do. Here in Florida, it's really easy because we can get on Sunbiz. We can find out if the company is even legitimate. Are they really registered? Are they insured? Are they current?
Wait. So you're telling me that there are companies out there that aren't real companies?
There's a dime a dozen out there that they're not even registered. They throw some marketing out there. They got a truck, they got a trailer, and they come out there and they sell you stuff. And then they don't show up, or they just put down some really junky stuff.
That's scary.
It is scary.
So Sunbiz?
Sunbiz.com. You can get on there, look up their name, check them out, and see if they're legitimate.
Yeah.
That's kind of the first place we would go.
So reviews, practices. What else you got?
So when you start getting into the company a little bit, and maybe you're going to call them up, or you're going to have a salesperson come out and talk to you, find out about their products. There's a lot of products, a lot of variation out there. There's products that are made overseas. Of course, we love American-made products, stuff that are made right here in the good old USA. But check into their products. See if you can get their safety data sheets on those products. Because if you can't, they may be mixing this stuff in their garage. Also, depending on what you want in your garage. I mean, if you just want something quick and easy, you can go to Home Depot or Sherwin-Williams to get something, but you may not want to spend a lot of money on that. A lot of companies will charge you a lot of money and then just go down to the big box store and buy something that may not be long-lasting or good quality. So
I know we're going to talk more about the different types of products in an upcoming episode, but that's good too. So products, what about process? Is that a big one? Huge one. So we want to make sure that we have a company that comes in and actually prepares the floor, fixes things that need to be fixed, cracks, pitting, all those type of things. A lot of companies will come in and they're just going to acid wash your concrete. That's a really bad thing. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later. You want somebody who's going to actually go through the process of prepping your floor and coating it properly so it'll last. Yeah, okay. So that's 4 out of 5.
One more.
What's the 5th one? What's the 5th one?
So if you're going to spend money on your home and anything you do, you want to have a good warranty. You want a warranty that's real. It's not just a piece of paper. They're going to back it up. So check out their warranty. Check out what it says, what it means, what does it cover, what doesn't it cover, because there's always some exclusions in there. And make sure you can live with that warranty.
It seems like everybody has a lifetime warranty. And then there's limited lifetime warranties, and then there's this kind of warranty and that kind of warranty. So you definitely have to read the fine print because you never know what you're really getting into, and a warranty is only good as the company
That's backing it.
that's
Yep,
backing it
that's
up.
right.
So that's really good. So there's all these companies. Thank you for that. I think that's a good place to start for those of you out there who are thinking about maybe getting a project done. Definitely work through those 5. You can find these things on our website, and you can also tune back in if you forget any of those. So make sure you work through that. So there's all these companies out there that are doing concrete coatings. We're a concrete coatings company. From your perspective, I know you have a bias.
A little bit.
Right?
A little bit.
But why would you encourage customers to choose our company? What kind of are there things that set us apart?
Yeah.
Besides just,
Sure.
highly
So
good-looking.
I'll just start off by saying there are some good companies out there. There's some
Yeah.
good legitimate, and that's why we're doing these podcasts. We want our viewers to make a good sound decision and choose them. It doesn't have to be Zano 521. You might not even be in our area. So if you're watching this and you're not in our area, maybe you're further south in Florida or up in Georgia or something like that, you want to make a good choice. But we are a company that is really driven by people, not profits. We love what we do. We love the people we serve. So our business practices are people over profits. And we're also a company that our core value is we're going to run our business legally, morally, and ethically. No matter what it costs us, it's legal, moral, and ethical. One of the things that separates us from a lot of our competitors is that all of our installers are employee, not contractors. Okay, what I mean by that is a lot of companies will actually subcontract out their work to 1099 people instead of actually having a core group of installers. In my opinion, they lose culture, they lose quality.
Yeah.
So it just makes it a lot better if you choose a company that actually treats their installers as employees. If they're 1099 guys, then the concrete company is just more of a marketing company for concrete coatings, and they're just subbing out all the work. So there may be some issues there, as we've seen in the past.
So everyone at Zano 521, they are an employee of the company.
Yeah.
No 1099s.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the things that I pride ourselves in here is that we're a local company. We're not owned by some equity investment company. There's a lot of those companies. They're bigger usually, not always, but a lot of times they're a lot bigger. So we're locally owned. When you got an issue, you can actually reach me and talk to me, and the buck stops with me in the end. So
I know you love that part too.
Yeah. And then lastly, we went with a product that we could get behind and build a business on, and we use Pentec products. We know the manufacturer. We've been there. We've seen their labs. We've seen the innovation that they have. So choosing a company with great products is important, and we felt like we have one that we can get behind.
Yeah, we believe they produce probably the best products out there.
Yeah,
and
well,
they're constantly.
I can't know for sure because I haven't tested every one of them, but I know it's doggone good.
That's good.
And they stand behind it. When there is an issue, they stand behind their product, which is a beautiful thing for us and our customers.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably enough for this episode. It's just kind of getting us started. I really appreciate you and your insights, great information, helping us make an informed decision. We started the conversation, but it's not going to end here because who would have thought there's so much more to talk about when it comes to concrete coatings. And so make sure you tune in and join us next time. Next time we're going to jump into the differences. So as you talked about, there's all kinds of different products out there, all kinds of different systems out there. And so what are the differences? Which is best for me, for my project? We're going to jump into that. So between now and then, if you have a question that maybe we didn't answer, or you have a project that you'd like for us to come out and look at, we provide free quotes to you. You can visit us at Zano521.com. On our website, you can learn more about our company, our products. You can see all of our recent projects that we've installed, probably one near you. And then all of our contact information is on there as well. You can schedule appointments and whatnot. So make sure you check that out then. Next time on the podcast, again, we're going to jump in about the differences between now and then. You guys stay safe, and we'll see you at the Zano 521 podcast next time.
Volusia County. From DeLand to Daytona, New Smyrna to Deltona, Ormond Beach and Holly Hill, Zano 521 Concrete Coatings is your Florida concrete coating expert. We've transformed countless homes and businesses into works of art with our superior polyurea products and exclusive Pentec lifetime warranty. Don't just take our word for it. Our 5-star Google reviews speak for themselves. Call 866-YES-ZANO or click the link to request a free quote. Zano 521 Concrete Coatings, turning concrete into art, one surface at a time.
Hey, so check out this cool countertop. Who did that?
That would be AMVET.
AMVET did the countertop. I remember when you guys told me that you did countertop. I'm like, what the? Really? I didn't know you did countertops. And here it is. This is the nice finished product. So where are we at today? Just so we know.
We're at Area 142 down at Cocoa Beach.
It's a pretty cool place. You guys haven't been, man. It's right across. The ocean's right over there. Anthony will show you some drone video of that. So who are we? We got Mark from AMVET. This is our #1 concrete coating company. Uno #1. First one. And who we got this guy here? Go ahead and introduce him.
Justin Wade, I'm the sales manager.
So when you see this guy out, you know he's coming out to sell you some concrete or some concrete coating, excuse me. But did you sell this job?
I didn't. One of my other guys did, but this is the Mount Everest color.
Everest color.
Really popular.
Yeah.
People love it.
I remember that we got video of them grinding and all that stuff, and I didn't. We were doing an interview, and you were telling me you did concrete like countertops.
If it's concrete, it's coated.
There you go.
Yep.
So this place seems like it's really, really busy. So it's super durable, which is cool. So here we are. How many years now are we in business? AMVET?
4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
Wow.
Yep.
We've been hanging out a few times. This is really the first time we started drinking beer together. We've done it a few times, but Mark's saying we should do this like every week.
Every week.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. See about the concrete coating business, you guys should jump in. No, I'm just kidding.
See how easy it is?
Yeah, see, here we are drinking. And the concrete coating is happening. So they got this, it's AI. They just push a button on it and make it happen.
Absolutely. Yep. It's automatic. Perfect.
I like to say that's the truth, but it's not. It's hard to do in this business. I mean, you guys got multiple crews out there grinding and doing this thing. You got sales guys, and crews is really what it comes down to. If you don't have enough crews to get the jobs done, you're not going to get the job done. You're not going to be able to get the revenue.
Well, it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of sales guys. It's a little bit of the crews getting the stuff down on the ground. But at the end of the day, you know, you've got to balance the two.
Yeah.
If you're not balancing them, then you're screwing up.
Right. And taking care of your crews. I mean, we were trying to have another client of mine come up today. He's owns a moving company. He had unbeknownst to you, he had hired you guys to do his concrete in his garage. And I'm like, hey, who did that? And he said, AMVET. I'm like, that's awesome. And no connection was made. I mean, Sean Stein from Mother Swift Movers reached out and called you guys and did a big for him. So he didn't come today. I wanted him to come. Maybe it was going to rain. Rain can be an issue in riding Harleys. It could also be an issue
With
concrete
putting coating
coating.
down.
Yeah. So anyways, about a year ago, I was busting your, you know what, to get more reviews.
Yep.
Yeah. So reviews is, you get it now, right?
Well, and we got hooked up with Birdseye, and that has become a seamless part of what we do. That it really has. Because the Birdseye, when I'm processing the forms and processing the final payments and stuff, send that through Birdseye, and it's easy.
And that's
it's
just
so
what we put in place for you.
Yep, absolutely.
So, and I was kind of like busting your,
Well, and
you got to
what-
get it done. Man, come on, let's go. We got to get some more reviews, right?
Well,
I mean,
and I complained because of the clientele down here, and they weren't really internet savvy and everything else. But when I started doing that with with what you were suggesting, when I started running with that, we've gone up 50 reviews,
I don't know.
50
here we
plus
are.
50 plus reviews.
Dun, dun, dun.
65 Google
reviews. Check it out.
Good job.
And,
Yes, sir.
and hold on, but let's talk about it. Seriously. That was 50 of that has been done just in the last year. That's
Yes.
So, and then quickly we'll be 100, and then we'll be 150.
Yep.
And originally I was gonna have Sean Stein. He just hit 200. I have another client that's over 300 reviews, and reviews affects Google Local. That's what affects Google Local, reputation manager. They want to know that you guys are the good guys. If Google's going to put you on page 1, they want to know that you're doing a good job. They look at your reviews. Once we get to 100, The guys that are trying to catch up and they have 10, good luck. They're not, you know what I mean? So then you'll get 100, 110, 150, 200. We'll be doing this again. I think we're getting ready to present Sean his 200. We've done it at 50. Nice. So we weren't quite at 75. I like to do them like an even amount, but you know, we were meeting today, so we were at 65. So, and the fact that we're meeting today at the school place in Cocoa Beach, this bar was done by these guys. Kind of worked out. So. Yep. So that's what I wanted to do,
and that's meant more than I ever thought it would. Honestly, that is just on staying on top of the competition, and being ahead of them. That has really worked out. Very,
because
very well
I mean, if I'm going to spend X amount of dollars to get my concrete coating driveway or garage or whatever it is I'm doing, I want to know we're in the review. It's 15 years ago, 10 years ago, we weren't talking about reviews. We weren't. I mean, how many reviews have you left in your lifetime?
Not like 3.
You go.
Yeah, I think I've got 3.
Right. I started doing it more just because I remember I was up in North Carolina or something, and their ice cream shop was closed during the pandemic, and I was like, took my kids to get some ice cream and it was closed. I'm like, really? I gave them a negative review. I shouldn't have done that probably. But generally people give a negative review. They don't give that many positive reviews, so they get 65 5-star reviews. That's what we want, you know what I mean? So absolutely. So that's why we're here today. We're drinking some beer. It's hot out, it's humid, it's Florida, and we're drinking some beers. Here we are in the concrete coating business.
Cheers.
So
cheers.
If you want your concrete coating done,
cheers 65.
Cheers 65. I like that.
I like it.
There you go. So yeah, reach out to AmVet. They will definitely hook you up. And then you'll hear from this guy or this guy. If you need some marketing, some website, some drone video,
talk to this guy.
Yeah. So Anthony's behind the camera. Appreciate it, man. And we'll talk to you guys soon. So cheers.
Cheers.
Zano 521 is an exclusive Pentec dealer, and we offer the best warranty in Volusia and Flagler County.
Zano 521 has transformed hundreds of concrete surfaces into works of art throughout Central Florida. For a free quote, contact Zano521.com.
If you need concrete coating, you need Zano 521. For the best concrete coating in Volusia County, call Zano 521 today.
Are you looking to add some style and a clean look to any concrete surface at your home or business? Your garage floor, patio, or pool deck? Call the experts at Classic Concrete Coatings for the best concrete coatings product on the market. Many colors to choose from. Limited lifetime warranty. Click the link below to save $300 on your new garage floor. The Classic Concrete Coatings, serving the greater Atlanta area.
People need new concrete surfaces, and they're having a lot of crap luck. When Jack here looks up concrete coating companies, make sure your company ranks high in that search and you get Jack's business. So you need a marketing agency that specializes in concrete coating clients. Call the Surface Marketing Pros, creating concrete connections to incoming clients.
Hey there, Pentec dealers. First off, I want to give a big thank you to Pentec for inviting us to this incredible event. I'm Mark Lewis of Surface Marketing Pros, a division of Tightline Productions, and we're thrilled to be here with you. At SMP, we specialize in helping concrete coating businesses like yours shine online and get more leads. Currently, our team works with many concrete coating clients throughout the entire U.S., from Hawaii to Florida, and in the next few months, we're looking to partner with some new concrete coating companies that are poised and ready to take their business to the next level. At Surface Marketing Pros, we build awesome websites, all designed to rank and increase conversions. We set up and manage a mix of digital and traditional marketing strategies, and we constantly apply what we've learned to benefit all of our concrete coating clients. We do it transparently, within a budget that you approve, and it's tailored just for your company. To ensure we deliver the best service, we're keeping it personal with a limited number of spots. So if you're ready to cement your success, stop by our booth to learn more. Remember, We transform the leads, and you transform the surface. Surface Marketing Pros, cementing your success. Thanks again to Pentec for having us, and we cannot wait to meet you.
Zano 521 is the exclusive Pentex product dealer in Volusia. We only deviate from the standard to exceed the standard by using only Pentec products, the highest quality products on the market today. The Pentec difference is clear when tested against other common chip coatings like epoxy and substandard polyurea. Our coatings are slip resistant and come in many shades and colors.
Zano 521 has transformed hundreds of concrete surfaces into works of art throughout Central Florida.
For a free quote, call 866-YES-ZANO.
All right, welcome back to the Zano 521 podcast. My name is Mitch McKinney here with our owner, Jay Bryant. How you doing today?
I'm good. I even got dressed up for today. Put a nice shirt on. I can't believe you got me back.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. At Zano 521, we transform the spaces where you live, work, and play. We serve all of Central Florida from Orlando all the way up to St. Augustine. We're so grateful that you're joining us today. Before we jump into today's episode, as always, we just humbly ask that you take a quick second to like and subscribe to this channel on YouTube or on whatever platform you're tuning in it with today. It would be greatly appreciated. We appreciate your support. All right, episode 2. You ready?
What are we talking about?
We're talking about concrete coatings, all things.
Okay.
Concrete coatings. I know you love being on camera, so thank you for joining us again. Last time we started the conversation because the concrete world has exploded. There's so many options out there when it comes to coatings. And I think you gave us some real good insights as to kind of where to start when choosing a company and a product. If you missed that, make sure you go back and listen to that episode. Today, I want us to double click on the differences because like you referred to, there's a lot of different products out there, okay? So again, as a customer, I get these ads and I see these companies and I see these products and I go to my local home improvement store and then there's a whole row of them. Is there really a difference? How do I choose? Which one do I choose? Which is best for me and my project? So I'll turn it over to you as the expert. Can you help us?
Yeah, so there's several different options that a homeowner can choose when they decide that they want to do something with their ugly concrete. You want to, number one, primary reason people choose to do something is the lower maintenance, right? We all have concrete that's been molded. Yeah. You got to pressure wash it all the time. It's hard to keep clean. Or it's gotten to the point where it's starting to crack, because all concrete cracks. We know that, right? It's always gray, it always cracks, and nobody's going to steal it, right? That's always the way it works with concrete. So, the first thing that some people might want to do is if you have a beautiful piece of concrete and just want to lower the maintenance on it, you can't just go get a good concrete sealer. It's not going to change the appearance much. You might get a little sheen to it, but it'll fill those pores in. If you spill something on it, it's not going to soak into those pores and stain your concrete. It'll inhibit the mold from growing in it. That's usually your cheapest solution. It's pretty easy to do. Yep. But you're eventually going to have those cracks and all those other things coming into your concrete, and you're going to want to do something a little bit more later.
And like a sealer, it's just a clear. There's no tint to it, so it's not really.
They do make some that you can tint and do different things like that, and it's more of a stain that will fill the pores as well.
Yeah, but it's not going to change the appearance.
Not too much. No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So pros, it helps with the maintenance, and it's fairly inexpensive. Cons is it's not going to really change the appearance that much. Okay. Right. So that we start with a sealer. Where do we go from there? So if we're going to go a step above, where do we go?
You could paint it. There's concrete paints out there that you can put down. Concrete paints, again, a little bit less expensive than some of your higher end solutions, your multi-layered solutions. Even with the paint, though, you'd want to prep the surface correctly. Make sure that you seal your cracks up. If there's cracks in there, you're going to seal the cracks. You're going to paint it. The disadvantages to paint is they don't last as long, and you're going to see every blemish in that floor. If there's a pit, a hole, a crack, that's going to show through that. Any deviations in the concrete is going to show through the paint.
So you're saying that concrete surfaces aren't uniform and perfect like a
You know,
like
you
an
can
ice
get
skating
them.
rink.
You can find them. If you go to Walmart and you see what they do there, they got laser
Yeah.
finished concrete. It's beautiful. It's flat, but
Yeah.
that's not typical what we're going to find
Yeah.
in most commercial, even industrial or
Yeah.
residential sites.
I know on the paint side, you know, with a lot of projects that we do, a lot of the paint projects that we do and we see that are outside are just, they're faded and they're a mess.
And they start peeling up and popping up.
they start peeling up.
pretty early on.
Yeah,
You know?
but again, it's a lower expense
Right. It's
to
a
product
choice.
to get into, but in the long run, we'll get into this later. Like there's more cost involved with that. So
Right, in the long
okay.
run.
So you've got sealers, you got paints. I think we both, you know, for most people, they know what they can get their head around those kinds of things. Those are pretty common. All right, what about the next layer up from that? What would be the next type of product?
So the next layer has been around for a long time. It's epoxy coatings, multi-layered epoxy systems. There's a lot of different variations on epoxy and how it's applied. But in the end, epoxies, it's been tested, it's been proven for a long time. You have high quality, low quality epoxies. You really got to check out what you're getting. The problems with epoxies is they never quit curing. So if you apply it properly to the floor and you profile the concrete, you apply it like you're supposed to, you get a good root system in there.
Yeah.
There's a good mechanical bond to that concrete, but epoxies continue to get harder and harder and harder over time.
Yeah.
And then once those roots start to get so hard they get brittle and they pop up, this could just be within a couple years to 4 or 5 years perhaps. And we've all seen that. You've been in the garage and you've seen where the tire tracks
Yeah,
are, the
hot tire
we
part,
call them
yeah.
hot tire pulls because the tires come in hot and then they stick to the floor, and then as you back out, it just rips that up
Right.
because you don't have a good, strong bond. And that usually happens with epoxies. Also, epoxies are not UV stable, so you can't
Okay.
use them outside.
Okay.
They're going to fade or turn yellow. Even in the front of your garage where the sun comes in, that area is going to discolor, turn yellow, start to fade relatively quickly. So there's no outside applications, and certainly in the front of your garage, be prepared to see some fading and yellowing.
Yeah, you know, a lot of the projects that we do, whether it's garages or patios or even some pool decks that have that type of a product on there, I mean, it's usually failing, and so we have to come in, we have to
grind it all off.
Yeah. And so definitely want to make sure you're doing your due diligence there if that's the option that you decide you want to do. So, okay, so we've got sealers, we got paints, we got epoxies, and that epoxy ranges. There's all kinds of different epoxies, better.
Different levels, different qualities.
But regardless of the quality, the things you talked about, they're all the same, right? Like no matter how high the quality of the epoxy is, it's still not UV stable?
Still not UV stable.
It's still never going to stop curing?
It's still going to continue to cure. I mean, a good quality epoxy can last you a little bit longer than a lower quality, obviously, but it's still going to have some of the same issues with
properties, because it's just kind of what it is. Okay, so are there levels beyond that?
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
there's polyaspartic systems where they take a polyaspartic chemical, they put that down as a base coat. A lot of companies use polyaspartics as their base, and they chip into that to give it the appearance that they want. It's not a bad system. It's certainly going to be a little bit more expensive, probably a lot more expensive. And
Than like epoxy?
Than epoxy.
Okay.
So you're jumping up a little bit in quality, and the cost of chemicals go up quite a bit when you start getting into that. But the polyaspartics, they go in again. We've got a mechanical bond. They're going to come into the concrete, into the root system. If you profile the concrete and you prep it like we need to, it's going to get into that concrete. But it doesn't get in real hard. It doesn't have a real strong pull, like we do pull tests on all of our flooring systems to check the bond between the concrete and the coating. So it doesn't have the longevity as some of the more premium systems would, but it's not a bad system.
Yeah. When you say root system, like that's probably not something that most people know about. So what you're talking about, correct me if I'm wrong, is so when, and we're going to talk more about how to properly prep your surface, but once you profile it, it opens up the pores of the concrete.
Right.
And so what you're talking about is whatever base coat you're putting down, it's going to, the bond, so to speak, that's going to have with the concrete, that's what you're talking about.
Correct, yeah. So that chemical will seep down inside those pores and then harden up. And it's just like a roots from a tree. They go into the ground and that's what holds the tree to the ground. The root system in a coating is what holds the coating to the floor.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't matter how hard or how durable the top is. If the bottom is going to come loose, then the whole system's going to fail. Okay.
And you've seen it before. We've pulled up flooring systems in sheets where it's laminated after time.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it looks good on the top, but then it starts to separate. And then you got to start all over again.
Right.
Okay. So sealers, paint, epoxy, polyaspartic. What other option is there?
The last one we should talk about is probably the polyureas, polyurea base coat system. It's an amazing system. It's going to be your premium system. It's not much more expensive than a polyaspartic, if any. Depends on where you're buying from and who you're using. But the great thing about the polyurea is not only does it get in there and do that root system we talked about, but it searches out for moisture. And all concrete has moisture. If it didn't have moisture, it would just be powder.
Okay.
So when it finds the moisture, then a chemical reaction takes place and it locks in. So now not only do we have that mechanical bond holding the coating to the floor, we have a chemical bond where it mixes with the concrete and bonds in there. So you have the strongest possible system that you can put on the floor.
Yeah.
Now when I talk about moisture, it's a good thing, it helps it bond, but it's also one of the negative things about polyurea. Too much moisture.
We're going to get into that.
Is going to cause a problem.
We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. Yep.
But we mitigate that, and
yes.
it's
yep.
easy to figure out.
So the polyurea system, it's very strong.
Very strong.
It's probably the strongest out of the bunch, right?
It is. We do pull tests and anywhere from 12 to 1,700 pounds of pressure before it never breaks the bond with the concrete. The concrete usually breaks first.
Okay.
And we have video on that.
When you say pull test, you know what that means.
I know what that means.
I know what that means. Most people don't know what that means. What does that mean? Because I've seen advertisements like it's 5 times stronger, or 10 times stronger, or 50 times stronger.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
What does that mean?
So if you go to our website, we actually have this video on there. It's from our manufacturer, but you could probably find this maybe with some other good quality systems. But what we do is we epoxy a little device to the top of the floor system that we put down.
Stick it.
We stick it on, it bonds.
Okay.
And then we have another device goes on top that's threaded. And then as that thing threads, it starts pulling away, and there's a little meter over here. It's telling you exactly how many pounds, and then eventually the floor is going to pull away from the concrete, or if you have a good bond, the concrete will actually just pop up and break. And on the bottom, what you glue to it, you have concrete.
Yeah.
So that's what polyurea has done. When we have an epoxy system, 400 or 500 pounds on a good epoxy, it'll delaminate.
Right.
But our system will actually break the concrete before it delaminates.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah, so it's super strong. What about, and I don't know if we've talked about this, like install time, like curing process. I know you said that epoxies never stop curing.
Right.
But like from beginning to end, I know that's one of the benefits of a polyurea system, because I see this too, like, hey, and with our company, we can install a certain amount of square feet in one day.
Right.
Is that's a big difference too?
Huge difference, right? Yeah. So the great thing about the polyurea is it's fully cured in 24 hours. 100% cured.
Okay.
And epoxy is going to take at least 72 hours for it to cure. So when you're talking about installation time or time out of your garage or out of your area, your space, you're talking 3 to 5 days for an epoxy system, whereas a polyurea system, you can be back on it the next day.
Yeah.
So it's a 24-hour cure, and 20 years from now, that thing has still got the same elongation property, it doesn't get hard like epoxy.
Right.
So that root system's not going to get brittle. It doesn't continue to cure. It's fully cured, done, finished in 24 hours.
Yeah. To me, that would be huge. You never see my garage. It's packed with stuff. So if I have to clean that thing out, and I would have no idea where to put it.
It's all sitting out in your yard for 3 to 4 or 5 days.
I wouldn't want it out there longer than it had to be. So that's definitely. Now I know it's quick. The polyurea system, it's the curing process is quick, which is a pro in some ways, right?
It's a pro.
But there's also a con to it.
It's more challenging to install.
Right, which means that the installers need to. Not just anybody can put it down, right?
Yeah, this is definitely not a DIY project. You wouldn't want to go buy some polyurea. I don't know that you even can. I've never found it on the shelf anywhere, but you wouldn't want to try to apply this because there's different speeds for different temperatures, humidity, all that stuff that slows that polyurea down so that we have enough time to chip into it. But you are in a timeline. The time that stuff is in the bucket, it's starting to cure. You got to get it out there. You got to spread it. So it takes training. That's why we send all our guys to certification courses to make sure that they understand how to apply it properly.
Yep. Okay. So at Xantho 521, we use a polyurea system manufactured by Pentec. Can you, I think, and I know you always say we don't know, I think it's the best product out there, but why did we choose Pentec as the manufacturer for our system?
Well, as we did our research, we were looking for a company that, number one, like I said, I think in the first episode, that we can get behind, that we can grow, build a business on. And Pentec, unlike most of the other ones, they have, first of all, they have 3 full-time chemists. They manufacture everything here in the U.S.
Yep.
They're accessible. I know the owner personally.
Yeah.
They have a whole tech team. They use nothing but 100% polyureas.
Right.
They don't dilute it down with different chemicals and
Solids,
stuff like that. So it's 100% solids. They've got a beautiful lab. They have UV stability testing, pull testing, stretch testing. So they really go into making sure. They have won awards at the World of Concrete for their products.
Yeah.
So, you know, it really boiled down to just a company that we felt like was authentic. And as we found out, as you know, we've had some issues, right? There's nothing perfect out there. They stand behind their product.
Yeah,
Like
they stand behind it, and they're constantly, I think they're committed to constantly improving.
Right.
So the products that we have are incredible, but they're just getting better as time goes on.
Yeah, unlike some of the one-trick ponies that we see,
Yeah.
like they got something, they get it out there in the market, and then they never do anything to it. And
right.
Technology is always advancing,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Things getting better and
It
better,
is.
and they're
It
always
is.
searching it out, staying ahead of the game on it.
So the system that we use is that polyurea, and most of the time what you'll see is there are chips, or there's finishes in there, in what you would see like in a typical garage.
Right.
But we have other systems and other products that we installed with that system, right?
Sure.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we have our standard chip system. Pentec calls it the Evolution system. That's our standard colors. It's a 1/4-inch chip. We can get those in smaller size chips.
Yep.
Any color you want.
Yeah.
We can customize that thing.
We've done some pretty
any
cool
way
stuff.
you want. And then we have a hybrid system, which has got different size chip. It's really neat. Looks more like a kind of a granite or terrazzo look. It's beautiful, different colors in there.
Yeah.
So those are our standard kind of, we install those every day. And then really frequently we do shop flooring systems for commercial
Right.
spaces.
Yeah,
We've even done some
warehouses.
garages, but shop flooring system is got a sand medium in it instead of a chip. It's super strong. It's a double top coat, tinted to whatever color you want. So those are great for high use, high traffic. It needs to be a little bit more durable. It's typically a solid color system.
Yep.
We can do lines and different things in it.
Yeah.
You know, but pretty much a solid color system. And then the other system out there that's you know, is popular in commercial spaces is a granite system. It's a real fine colored system that we put down, super durable as well. So there's some choices there, but your average homeowner is looking for basically the chip system. That's kind of, and it's good.
Yeah.
It works nice.
Yeah, if you would like more information on the different options that we have, different products we have, if you want to see some finished projects with the different colors, you can go to our website, xano521.com, XANO521.com. On our website, you can learn more about our products, about our company, about our processes. You can see every job that we do.
It's all in
is
there.
posted on there. You can see photographs of that and all of our contact information. If you want us to come out and look at a project that you have that's upcoming, we give free quotes, and so you can check us out there. You can schedule that at xano521.com. Jay, that's it for this episode. Thanks for your insights again. Next episode, we're going to talk about the thing that we probably get asked most about, which is cha-ching.
How much does it cost?
How much does it cost?
Yeah.
How much does it cost? So with that, we'll see you next time on the Xano 521 podcast. See you then.
Hey guys, if you're watching this video, you're either one of our current concrete coating clients or you own a concrete coating company and you may need some help trying to get your digital marketing right. So who am I? I'm Mark Lewis, and I'm the founder of Tightline Productions and Surface Marketing Pros. And over the years, we've produced hundreds of websites, and we've produced thousands of videos and commercials, and we routinely book thousands of dollars of electronic and digital media strategies monthly for all of our clients, all with one common goal: to capture more leads and to help our concrete coating clients grow their business. Simple. This video is titled SEO Spring Training. So today, and yes, I know it's almost summer by the time you see this, but hey, all good things take time to produce, and sometimes it takes me a minute to get things done here internally. And I just totally off the cuff that, and Anthony's getting mad because he's running the prompter, but that's okay. So today we're going to talk about Google Map listings, or what I call the 3-pack, to maximize leads specifically. And I will go through the answers and questions. Is Google Map listings really still important? So to answer that, Moz recently conducted a study, and they looked at the organic results for local service type companies, and they found that basically 71% of the clicks go to the first page, the first page organic things is what we really were talking about here, not paid. I think most of you understand that, but I wanted to make sure you all followed along here. They also found that 67% of people searching go to the first 5 listings. So what does that mean? So page 1, the first 5 listings. And digging even a little further and talking about all the things with maps, you got, Google service ads and pay-per-clicks at the top, and then you got the map listing. At least 44% of clicks are still going directly to the map listings. So with the Google Map ads, the maps have moved down, but the results have shifted. But in short, customers still prefer to click on the maps and call off the maps. And it follows all of it up on the opportunities listed on the non-paid listing. So for sure, Google Map listings are still very important. So the most significant challenges and biggest changes we've seen in search results on maps specifically, there's a long time ago where, there was like 7 results that came up. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, Google switched it to only 3. And that's what we call, AKA the 3-pack. So right now on Google Maps, Google now has a paid listing in the cases of the 3 organic non-paid advertising. So you got 3 on the map listing, and then now you have a paid listing that Google's now pushing things even further. So I want to talk about Google Ads and the opportunity. So if you're running Google Ads and you can specifically add map results to be part of that campaign, the Google Map has to be connected to an actual Google Map listing, I would definitely recommend it. So, currently if we're managing your PPC ads and or if you guys are doing it on your own, I highly recommend budgeting some of that money to go into a Google Map campaign so you can pop in front of those people especially if you're not currently ranking there. Okay. So, and Anthony's hating me because I just totally off-cupped that. But basically, let's recap real quick. Let's just recap for a minute. So just recently, Google has now started inserting paid ads in the Google Map listing, right? Those 3-packs, and now you'll see a 4th one at the top. And it says sponsored. So what have they done? They've now pushed down things even further. So, and this is something they've rolled out in the United States and Canada. So it's going to be around for a while. So I definitely recommend that's something you might want to do inside of your Google PPC. Now let's talk about things that may be hurting your ranking on maps, because most of you guys are students of the game, and hopefully this video will make you even more SEO smart. Maybe you hired an aggressive agency in the past, and sometimes, the things you had put you in a place a while back to get your numbers ranked, and you're on rank number 1, but now those same things you did just a little while ago are falsely, screwing up your listings basically, or making some of the major things disappeared from your search results altogether. So let's dig in a little bit and chat about some of those things that could hurt you and how to reverse some of those things that may be damaging your Google listing. All right, so first thing, you really truly need to have an actual office in the city you're looking to target. If I'm a concrete coating company based in Miami, Florida, and I want to make it possible for my company to rank for garage floor epoxy coating Miami, I really need to have an actual office in Miami. There was a time back that you could use, a house, or you could use a fake listing, or maybe your aunt's house. And I know some of you all played these games and over the years, but what Google wants with their map listing is to serve the absolute best company that is, that A, they're gonna show up, B, that they're gonna do a good job, so they create a search experience and solve the problem on the end for their customer, who is the person searching, right? That's their customer. Google is emphasizing making sure that companies are listed and backed by a real location, like with signage, and that shows, where people can come in. If you play the game in the past, that can be really hurting you now. So ideally, you want to have a warehouse or a location in the major city. That's the best option without a doubt. So the second best option is to rent a physical office. If the goal is to rank in Miami, but your current offices are on the outskirts of town, you may be better served renting a physical office. I know this costs a little bit more, but renting a physical office so you can show Google that you have a physical place is really the best way to do this. You know, another thing that could be potentially hurting your ratings and bringing it down is at some point in the past 5, let's say 2 to 5 years, you had some other agency create, you know, some fake listings. Maybe another SEO company felt, hey, the best thing to do for my client is to, you know, create extensive listings all around these surrounding cities and towns. And, you know, as many of you know, a few years back, you know, you can get Google verified with a PIN code that they'd send you in the mail, you know, and then you would make those, get that certification, and then you would start ranking in these towns. And there was a magical time, you know, a couple years back where, guess what? It worked really well. Well, heck yeah, we're like, let's do it. Let's get these more leads. Let's get more sales. And look at all the places we're ranking for. Unfortunately, Google caught that and smacked that down. Literally, they smacked that down because they caught up on it, right? So now some of those rogue listings are probably still out there, you know, lingering around, and realistically, they can be hurting you more than they're helping you. So if that was done, you know, we kind of need to take a look at that and see what's going on, because, you know, you got everything right, but some reason you're not ranking, and it's those rogue listings that still may be harming you. One of the best things you could do is, you know, maybe go into MapMaker and find any duplicate, false, fake listings and delete them or consolidate them and close them so your main authentic, realistic listing can be untarnished. There's a process for this, and it works pretty well. So, you know, so that's something you're facing, and you're not on the 3-pack, trying to figure out, you know, things like that. If you got great listings and lots of reviews, this could be, you know, those rogue listings can still be drawing you back. A third thing that's potentially harming you is inconsistency of your name, your address, your phone number. This is, you know, less of an issue than it has been in the past, but to ensure your companies are listed differently on Maps than they are on Yelp and Angie, all these different places, Google's looking for you to be consistent profile across for your organization. It's not so much about the tracking the numbers, you know, but the company's name and address and your how you're referenced is what you want. You know, you want that to be consistent across as many directories and citation. That way, you know, Google finds your exact match for your business, and that's a vote of confidence. That's you know, you're a legitimate company and that you're a legitimate place and that you claim to be. Now, you know, you have to continually back it up with positive reviews from real customers. You know, that's how you can really start, you know, playing the map game and winning the map game. And you guys hear me talk about reviews a lot. In some cases, we see clients that we get, and you know, and things look great. You know, they have a great site. You know, it loads good. They have good content, but they're not anywhere in the spectrum. And as far as, you know, Google Map listings, and you know, we're trying to figure out why. So we dig in, we find out that they have some inconsistencies with, you know, their name and the phone number being different across some of the listings. You know, we go and we fix that, and you know, boom, they shoot right back up at the top, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're on the Google Map listing. So these little things that could be hurting you, you definitely got to pay attention to them. So, you know, if you are spamming your company name, that's not a good thing either. Let's say your company is Bob's Concrete Coating, and that's how your legal name is listed. Your domain is bobsconcretecoating.com. You were on Google Maps and decided, hey, let's get clever. Let's call ourselves Bob's Concrete Coating and Polishing, Miami, Florida. You put the city in there. You know, you're trying to put these little extra keywords in there. It's like you're trying to send passive signals to Google that, you know, you're a legit company and you want to come up for the keywords, you know, slightly different. Google is very specific in the terms and conditions. They want you to use your actual company name, the actual company name that you are, like, you know, incorporated with, or DBA or LLC, you know, for your business. If your address, it has a bunch of extra spam words, you know, to it, and visually it gets caught by one of the Google their manual reviewers, you could instantly get pulled off the map listing until you go back and correct that. It may work for a minute, you know, and I think some of you guys might see that, but it's the juice, you know, it's a squeeze worth the juice, because in the end, if it hurts you and you're not really paying attention, then, you know, that's something we could, you know, it can be hurting you. So obviously, you want to add, you know, your website, your business website, but also on your listing, don't use an 800 number. Your Google local business listing, you definitely want to use a local number. You might serve, let's say, 3-county area, and you have a different area code for calling in, but Google wants you to serve local business. So having that localized number on your listing is super important. So here's an example what we are doing for Zano Concrete Coating. If you notice, they got a home address, and we need to use a local phone number address. And so it's good that we actually have different phone numbers with different area codes. And you don't want to use a PO box. If you're using a PO box, you're out of gas. That ship has sailed. If you're using UPS store, it's probably not going to work. So those are things that worked in the past, but they're just really not doing it these days. You really got to tighten up your game, and that's what we're always trying to look at. And trust me, we're always learning from each other. We hear things that this guy's done, or we tried it with this guy and it seems to work. So what worked in this guy, and typically they're going to work across the board. And we're talking to guys in Hawaii and South Dakota and Kansas City and all throughout the United States, of course, here in Florida. So sometimes we do some of these things and we see how they work. So the thing that usually, above all other things being equal, prevents you from ranking is you don't have, or you have a low number of reviews, right? Some of you guys hear me harp on this a lot. A while back, Mark from AMVET Coating, was in our office. We were doing some editing, and I was on him about getting more reviews and the tool that we provide, you guys. And he was like, God, I hear, I'm going to get it. So he was giving me all kinds of crap. But guess what? Mark, he's local too. I get to go have beer with him occasionally. So he jumped all in, Mark, and he jumped all in, and then he realized, hey, I need to get this done. We actually presented him a little plaque a while back, and now he's done a great job. Since then, he has over 100 Google reviews. I think he was 106 when I looked. And Zano Concrete Coating, they were over 160 reviews. So, if you have a perfectly optimized Google listing with all the right stops and lots of citations, but you've only got 5 reviews, your competitor has 550, obviously they're going to have a competitive advantage. So guys, please use the automated tool we provide you for review generation. You can use it for new ongoing customers, and also retroactively, you can go back and ask some of those past customers that might not have given you a review, and that way you get a nice bump in the review count, which will absolutely move the needle for Google Map listing. It's so important if you have those reviews. So who knows, maybe in the past customer that when you send that, let's say you do that retroactively thing, maybe you did a driveway and now they're looking for a patio. So it's another way maybe getting a little business too, right? So the bottom line is that you must have continued flow of positive reviews from real customers in your proper service area. There are tools out there, that will give you fake reviews from people that have, real Google listings. It's not something we do, so please don't ask, because that's like playing with fire with Google. Google has detailed account information that has ever been set up and on every email and every Google account. So if it's being used, check email and other things. Plus, most of us, we're doing enough business and volume in your local area that you're going to be able to get enough percentage of your customers to then go in and post a positive review. And that's what we really want. That's a great thing. Then you can implement a process where 10 or 15% of your monthly customers use the service we provide, and then post a review. There's no reason you can't be the dominant person within the most reviews and best reputation online. I think more about the system and the process, and not trying to play the game or game the system, how to get these reviews. But like I was saying, garbage in, garbage out. If you don't use a system, and we see that a lot of people start using the system and then they kind of forget about it. So it's a really important component, as we found. It's not just optimizing Google listing and description, citation, and reviews. Google also spiderwebs it back to what is listed on Google Maps, to your website. Your website and the authority that it has in the context, so what the service area services they are providing, was a general snippet in the name, address, and phone number matches. We get all the functions correct. The map listing and citation, the review strategy, and the website itself, that's how we're able to, really dominate those map results. So there's a lot going on there. Like I've been showing you for some of our clients, it really boils down to, trust. Google is about solving problems for their customers, the right people that are searching. And right now it's still, Google is the dominant search engine by a landslide, but AI is, is cropping in and trying to disrupt, look at Bing, and then all these other guys trying to crop in and disrupt a little bit. But so Google's, really trying to stay number one. It's a mission that, to make sure that they have the best answers to the questions that their customers are typing in. So kind of recapping, the whole Google verification, 10 years ago, the way Google did it was, they just added you search results. If you had the option to click verify my listing, Google would then, send you a postcard in the mail. Remember those? You get that postcard, you verify your address, you enter the PIN code, which would unlock the listing. That was standard in how you verified your listing back in the day, but today they recognize that, people, are gaming that process over the years. So now they've got video verification. Now Google is going to ask you to record a video at your office with, showing you some like signage, showing that you got a place for maybe to meet with customers or your employees, maybe show a back room where some of your materials are or whatnot. And so that's kind of what they're doing now. So there's also a live video recorded process that you can record it with or without Google. One of the key things we're finding right now, if you're not ranking, it's either you, on maps especially, if you're not ranking, it's either that you need to be re-verified or go through that video verification. So if you have a real location in a real office, that is, the prerequisite for success with Google Maps in today's market for sure. So if you have done it, done this in the past, actually go ahead and redo it again, actually being double verified, it's not a bad thing at all. Okay, so another great thing to talk about is local sponsorships. One of the most authoritative or local organizations in your market, let's say, could be a sports team, or a health club, a school. If you sponsor an organization and, have them, and this organization has a website and they have a blog as part of the sponsorship, and they're willing to link back to your homepage, that is legitimate signal that Google, that you're active in your local market. So sponsorships can be, very cost effective, $25, $100, $150, whatever it is. But I highly recommend if they have that, it's huge for SEO. So you get that squirt of adrenaline showing them that you're coming back. So circling back to location, you need a true location, as mentioned earlier. So if you don't have an actual warehouse, another important thing to do is be posting local photos to your Google business profile, which is a great thing. We do this for most of you for jobs, more or less. We will post some of the jobs you've done, but I really urge you to max this out from your physical location as well. Offsite, do offsite photos and do on-site photos, and don't just post one photo. If you can upload or download a bunch from your phone, let's say Google prefers an iPhone over a stock photo, you can download the phone photo with the metadata showing where the photo was taken. So geographically, you can then rename it. It has some of the different keywords that you might put in the actual photo itself. And then upload it. That passes some of the signals that you're listing precisely from a concrete coating company and where you're located. Also do this on your website as well. I encourage you to do this if you want to improve your rankings. So be as authentic as possible with the photos that you're populating into your Google profile. For some of the concrete coating guys who use Company Cam, that is a tool that's so helpful to us as well. We then can access the photos for Company Cam from a particular project, such as like in a garage floor or a pool deck, or even a commercial job like a car dealer or a fire station. You can then, show pictures of the truck wrapped, in the trailer on site, maybe some of the crew. That's what people want to see, right? It's the pictures of you doing the work, see your team, the coding process. And of course, everybody loves the before and afters, and Company Cam does a really good job with that. Another thing to check off is to make sure the hours of operation are listed correctly. I see many contractors list their office hours, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then it goes to an overflow service after that, but their hours are still saying 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The problem with that is if your hours and you rank on, if you're trying to rank on maps, it's going to show you're closed, or in some of those times people might be searching overnight. So I would encourage you to have the ability to answer 24/7. Then set those hours on your Google Business Profile to 24/7. That way, you're constantly in the rotation and you're constantly showing up as open. And so, with Google Business Profile, it looks like, when you log in, there's a little area on the side that's called, that side, the called information over there. That's where you want to populate your photos. It looks a little bit different on mobile, but I encourage you to log in and know your way around, and you want to make sure that the listings, been properly verified, in which case, you will have the little verified seal on your listing with Google there as well. But if it's not verified, you need to go through that video process we talked about earlier. So, all right, so another excellent opportunity that Google gives us is the ability to answer questions. There's a little Q&A section, frequently asked questions on your Google profile. And oftentimes, clients don't have any questions. And what I would suggest is posting some of your own questions, like, thinking about the common things that people might ask. Is epoxy better than polyurea? How quickly can I walk on the floor after the job is done? Whatever those questions are, do you have a warranty? That kind of thing. Ask those questions and then answer them, and get your keywords featured in the questions content, so you get that content out there. We know for sure people will look through those Q&As because you've answered some of the frequently asked questions. So go ahead and, answer some of those questions. We also believe that Google is looking at the context of those questions. And if you answer those questions, boom, you get another squirt of adrenaline, right? So, I could spend hours, talking about Google Maps and as we're doing many of these things for some of you, and some of those things we can't do, like the local sponsorship or the Google verification. Those are things you really need to work on. I can't tell you though how excited we are to be working with so many awesome concrete coating clients. We are not interested in working with hundreds of concrete coating clients. We prefer to super serve the ones that we have. For some of you, we're doing Google pay-per-click and Facebook ads. We're doing some TV ads as well. We're full service here. Of course, we're doing your website and doing your SEO. Our goal is, continuing to watch you guys grow, and it gets me excited to see you, guys adding crews and all that stuff. So let's keep up the good work. I will try to do more of these a little bit more often. It's taken me a little while. I'm not the best on camera. I struggle just like everybody else, but guys, thanks. That about wraps it up for Google Map listings and reviews. Thanks for watching and letting, and a big thanks for letting Tightline and Surface Marketing Pros, take your concrete coating company to the next level. So again, thanks. Send me some comments. Let me know what you liked about the video, and have an amazing day. We look forward to chatting with you guys soon. See ya.
People need new concrete surfaces, and they're having a lot of crap luck. When Jack here looks up concrete coating companies, make sure your company ranks high in that search and you get Jack's business. So you need a marketing agency that specializes in concrete coating clients. Call the Surface Marketing Pros, creating concrete connections to incoming clients.
Amvet Concrete Coatings, Florida's premier residential and industrial concrete coating company, and the only concrete coating company with a 15-year manufacturer's warranty and a lifetime installation guarantee. Why use Amvet Concrete Coatings? Clean, professional installation, 24-hour return to service, 8 times stronger than epoxy, physically bonds with your existing concrete, abrasion resistant, slip resistant, antibacterial, antimicrobial, 100% UV stable, and custom chip color of your choice. Amvet Concrete Coatings, Florida's premier residential and industrial concrete coating company, and the only concrete coating company with a 15-year manufacturer's warranty and a lifetime installation guarantee. Why use Amvet Concrete Coatings? Clean, professional installation, 24-hour return to service, 8 times stronger than epoxy, physically bonds with your existing concrete, abrasion resistant, slip resistant, antibacterial, antimicrobial, 100% UV stable, and custom chip color of your choice.
At Concrete Coatings Hawaii, we don't just deliver quality, we do it fast. Our expert team transforms your floors in as little as 1 day. Every detail is surveyed and repaired to create a masterful finish. Our polyurea coatings are 4 times stronger than epoxy and ready for use in just 24 hours. Whether it's a garage, pool deck, or patio, we'll transform your space with a stunning finish that's built to last. Locally owned and trusted, we provide fast, professional service with unbeatable results. Call us today for your fast and flawless flooring transformation. Concrete Coatings Hawaii, get it done right and get it done quickly.
That was a hard one. It took her a long time, even after she gave birth. It took her a while to come back to pizza and love it again. But
from Secret Info, I can't eat chicken pot pie, like ever.
Yeah,
oh man,
yeah.
I had that story with tequila. That's a whole different story. So it was New Year's Eve.
Awesome.
Yeah, what do you got there? Dun dun dun. Drum roll. Bam. 100.
Oh, hey, we finally did it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's
Andrew, you'll have to give that to Blaine to bring to the office.
Don't want to take this up for sure. That's great.
Yeah, that's a
We
big
need
thing.
all the awards we can get, Mark. So if we have another award at 105,
Okay.
we're open for it.
Congratulations to Apex Concrete Coatings for achieving 100 positive Google reviews. Keep up the good work.
With the 5-star reviews to prove it, Zano 521 is Central Florida's trusted name for concrete coatings. Our products are made in the USA and come with a manufacturer lifetime warranty. Click the link to request a free detailed quote for your space. Zano 521 Concrete Coatings, transforming the places you live, work, and play. Don't overpay. Click the link to message Zano today.
At Zano 521 Concrete Coatings, there are no surprises, just precision. Because at Zano we measure it right, the first time. The best value and lifetime warranty. That's Zano 521. Click the link to request a free quote or call us.
My name is Jay. I'm with Zano 521 Concrete Coatings. The typical services that we coat are normally residential. We do pool decks, driveways, garages, patios, sidewalks. Our typical job takes 1 day to complete. Some jobs are a little bit larger jobs, may take 2. When the jobs are complete, our customers are back on their surface within 24 hours. Unlike most companies, Zano 521 uses a polyurea base coat and a polyaspartic top coat. The big difference is the polyurea bonds to the concrete, searches out moisture, makes a good root system in the concrete, and then once it finds moisture, a chemical process takes place. It causes the coating to bond well with the concrete. And then the polyaspartic, unlike epoxies, polyurea cures in 24 hours. Epoxies never quit curing. What happens after a long time with epoxies, those root systems that do get in the concrete start to get brittle and they start chipping up and breaking up. You get hot tire pulls. And most of us have seen that before in concrete coatings before, is you see those areas that have chipped up. With the polyurea, it fully cures in 24 hours. It maintains its elongation properties for the life of the coating. In 20 years, the elongation is still 98% of what it was the day we applied it. Also, having a 24-hour cure time allows our customers to get back on their surface within 24 hours, whereas epoxies can take 3 to 5 days or even longer. We're so excited to be applying concrete coatings in the Central Florida and Volusia County areas. One of the unique things about our company is all of our employees are employees. We don't subcontract any of our work. We maintain a very professional job site. We use top-of-the-line equipment to make sure that the surface is prepared correctly. We capture 90 to 95% of all the dust on the jobs, and we try to make sure it's neat and clean. We are proud to be a veteran-owned company transforming concrete surfaces into works of art. For a free quote, visit Zano521.com.
Welcome back to the Zano 521 podcast. My name is Mitch McKinney, once again here with our owner, Jay Bryant. Good to see you again.
Good to be here.
At Zano 521, what do we do?
We transform the spaces where you live, work, and play into beautiful works of art. And we service areas all the way from Orlando, across Central Florida, all the way up to St. Augustine. We're glad you're joining us today.
Absolutely. Before we jump into today's episode, we want to ask you and encourage you to please like or subscribe to this channel on YouTube or on whichever platform you're tuning in with. It would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, Jay, you're back again.
I'm here.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you doing today?
I'm doing better. I'm getting a little bit used to these cameras. It's just not my comfort zone.
All right, exactly. So we got another episode. We have more questions. Again, just to reset, the reason why we're doing this is because there's so much information out there, so many companies, so many products, and we're trying to inform. We're trying to inform and make sure our customers have as much knowledge as they can, because these coating projects are an investment.
They're not cheap, yeah.
And so we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to help them make the best decision that they can, whether it be your garage, your driveway, your pool deck, patio, residential, commercial, whatever it is. It is an investment, and so we want to make sure you have what you need. So far, we've talked a lot about how to choose a company. We've talked about the differences in the products that are out there. Today, we're talking about money.
Oh boy.
We're talking about money. This is by far probably the question we get asked the most, because there's never a question about whether it looks beautiful or whether they want it.
It's how much does it cost?
How much does it cost?
Yeah.
So I'm going to put you on the hot seat. Tell everybody exactly how much it costs.
I don't know. No,
it's
very complex. It's very complex because there's so many variables that go into this, Mitch, that just for us to throw a number out there, there's one or two things going to happen. We're either going to bait and switch you by giving you a lowball number, and then when we come out, we're going to jack it way up, because when we see your project, there's a lot more to it than we expected. We'll talk about some of those things, those items, or we're going to put a high number in there and we're going to scare you away. And that's what all the companies, not just us, all of concrete coatings companies have to deal with this, right? It's like, how do we tell somebody who just wants a number what it's going to cost? We got to get out and look at it.
Yeah, and I know that customers often get really frustrated.
Well, they want to see if it fits in their budget.
They just want to know, just like, give me a number. But if we give you a number, and then when we get out, there are so many different variables that go into it. So you want to talk about some of that?
I would say we need to be real careful, though. If for homeowners that you get a phone call, you call a company up and they give you a number on the phone, just be real careful, because those is an indicator to me they're not a professional company, because there's no way they can just ballpark a number, send that to you, and then come out there and actually do it. They're either overcharging you and using a really cheap product, or they're going to bait and switch you in the end. So just caution there.
That's good. That's a good heads up. So let's talk about the different factors or the different variables that go into what it actually costs.
So the first thing is obviously the size of the project. The square footage, that's going to be a big factor in it, because there is a baseline just for the product and the time it takes to do that. Most companies will have a minimum to come out, because the time it takes to do a 500 square foot garage versus a 100 square foot patio is really about the same. So, most companies will have that minimum just to come out for that day. So just don't be surprised when you see a company that tells you, hey, our minimum is X. Don't let that scare you away. There's reasons for that. But some of the factors that when we come out and look at your project that we're going to have to dig into is, number one, the square footage. How big is it? How big is the area? And then number two, how much repair needs to be done? Is there a lot of cracks, a lot of pitting? There's things that we have to fix. And then moisture content. If you're getting a good system, we've talked about the polyurea system, which requires a certain level of moisture. Do we have to mitigate the moisture because you just have a wet surface under there? There's a lot of reasons for that. We could get into that in another episode. But so moisture is an issue. The hardness of the concrete. So we do a Mohns pick test, what we call it, where we scratch the concrete with different tips to find out how hard that concrete is. If it's super hard, it's going to take a lot more effort to get that concrete prepared. If it's super soft, that's another whole issue. So we need to check that to just make sure we go into the project with our eyes open and manage the customer's expectation. Also, we have whether you have an existing coating. We talked about that in the past. If you have an existing epoxy or paint, or something like that has to be removed first. That's added time, added effort, more diamonds that we use to take that off. That might add a little bit to the cost as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of in your prep category, those type of things that we need to know before we give a price.
Yeah, that's fair.
Then you have features.
Okay.
So you talk about it like a garage, for an example.
Right.
A lot of folks, they want the little area 4 to 6 inches around the garage. We call those the verticals.
Verticals, yeah.
We want that area coated because it looks nice as it curves up.
Awesome. It looks awesome.
Right. But, there's a little bit added for that. If you have some steps we need to do.
Yeah.
When we talk about pool decks, you get your pool coping. You have
Right.
plastic expansion joints need to be dealt with. So a lot of variables there we want to assess to make sure we know what we're getting into before we actually give you a price.
Yeah. So for those of you who are out there who want to know price and you ask us what the price is, we're not trying to frustrate you.
We're not.
We're not trying to pull a fast one on you. We're actually looking out for your best interest. We want to make sure that whatever the number we give you is the real number. What is the real cost of it?
Yeah, we don't give estimates.
No,
we actually give quotes.
Yeah.
We give exact prices.
Yeah, so if you have a project that you'd like for us to come out and look at, we can give you a very, to the penny quote on how much that project would do. I'll give you more information of how you can get in contact with us and schedule that with us as we close. But let's get back to the cost, because I think people still want some kind of number. Can we give them some kind of range at least? Can you say at least from here to here, or is it still just like?
Yeah, there's some standard ranges that you can look at. Again, it depends on the system you choose. If you're choosing just a standard chip system, that kind of fits in one category. But if you start going to the shop flooring system or granite system, or if you're looking at an epoxy system, because that's one of the options that we gave you is potentially going with an epoxy.
Yeah.
There's going to be a range for that as well. Epoxy is a little bit cheaper. For, let's say, a standard 2-car garage, roughly around 500 square feet, for epoxy, you're looking at somewhere between $2,000, $2,300 to about $3,000. Where if you have a polyurea system, you might be more in the $2,600 to $3,500, somewhere in that range, again, depending on those circumstances.
Depending upon the circumstances. 'Cause I know somebody is going to reach out to us and say, hey, you said you can come do my garage for $2,600. And then when we get out there, it's 10,000 square feet. You just can't do it for that much. So ballpark, I think that's fair. I think that's a good range. And there are different options out there. But for what we come in contact with, people are mostly trying to figure out, do I do epoxy or do I do a polyurea system like we do?
Right.
Because for the untrained eye, so to speak, when you walk into it, like initially, they look very similar, right? It's hard to just tell what's that and what's that. And so if I have a project that I want to get done, let's say it's a garage. Well, we do all kinds of projects, but let's just say for this example, it's a garage. How do I determine what is the best product from a cost perspective on my side? Is it do I just go with the cheapest? That can't be, right? And I can't just go with the most expensive. Like, how can I figure that out from a cost perspective?
Well, first thing I would say, you have to determine what are you going to be doing with this space. Are you planning on being here for a long time? Is this your home for the next 7, 10, 12 years?
Yeah.
If you're looking at just flipping your home or selling it soon, then go with a little bit less expensive option.
Yeah.
Be careful, because if you're looking at 3 to 5 years of selling your home, you don't want to put an epoxy system, and in 3 to 5 years when you're ready to sell,
right,
you have kind of a delaminating, kind of ugly system sitting there. You want it to look good when you sell it.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at selling within a year or so, I wouldn't spend the money on a very expensive system. Just get something down, make it look nice, give it that curb appeal that people are looking for to sell. So to be perfectly honest, I would push somebody to an epoxy system that are looking to sell soon.
Yeah.
If you plan on staying in your home though,
2, 3, 5 years.
Yeah, you're going to want to spend the extra money up front now.
Right.
Because what happens is, if you plan on being here longer and you put an epoxy system in now, then in 3 to 5 years or less, you're going to be calling us out to put our system in. And guess what? Now we got to charge you more, talking about cost.
Because we got to remove it.
We got to remove it now. And so we've actually told our customers that, hey, if you're not going to go with the polyurea system now,
just don't do it.
Just don't do it yet.
Don't do anything.
Just wait.
Don't do anything.
I know money's an issue for doing these type of projects, so maybe just wait a little longer until you can actually get the system that's going to last and stay there for a long time.
Yeah, there have been many times when we've advised customers, you're not going to be here very long, so this is probably not the best product for you from a cost perspective. At the same time, if you are planning on being where you are for 2, 3, 5, 10 years, then we would strongly advise that you consider the polyurea system, because it's going to, so with an epoxy system, it's going to be cheaper on the front end, right?
Right.
But it's going to, at some point, and this is not us being biased here, it's just a reality.
It is, yeah.
It's going to fail. And so then at that point, you're going to have to figure out, well, what am I going to do now?
You can put another epoxy system in. Now you've
Right.
just doubled your price from the original. It's probably gone up since then.
Correct.
And then that's going to fail in 3 to 5 years, or
Correct.
so you're going to keep compounding your cost.
Right.
Spend a little bit more up front for a system that's going to last probably longer than we will.
I think that's one of the huge benefits of the system that we use. It's like it's more cost up front, but it's a one and done. Like once it's down, it's down. It's going to be there forever. When I was thinking about this cost, what's most cost effective, for me, it's not just the cost of the product. For me, there's the hassle of the what do I do with my stuff. And so regardless if you have an epoxy system or a polyurea system, the first time you got to move everything out of the garage, then you got to store it somewhere, you got to do something with it, and then when it's done you got to move it back in. So with our system, it's just a one-time deal.
And it's only one day.
It's only one day for most garages, and it's a one and done versus, if my system fails, whatever I choose, then I have to do all that process again. To me, it's not. I personally, I'd rather pay more up front and just have that system, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. So, okay. So I think we gave them enough. Do you think?
I'm sure that there's folks out there that would like to pin it down a little bit tighter, but hey, here's the great part is most professional companies will come out and give you a free quote, no obligation. We're not a high pressure sales company, so we're going to come out and just paint it up for you, paint the picture for you and tell you exactly what the cost is going to be, and that's it. We don't like the high pressure sales stuff.
No.
So,
and when we come out, we are going to be honest with you. If we believe that our product is the best, we're going to tell you that for what you're doing. If not, we're going to tell you that as well, and we'll give you other options that you might want to consider. So if you would like to schedule a time for us to come out and look at your project, we'll give you a free quote. Make sure and visit us on our website at xano521.com, XANO521.com. There you can learn more about our company, our products, our process. You can see all the recent jobs that we've done, probably one nearby you. And then you can find out all of our contact information and you can schedule that appointment there. Okay?
Sounds good.
That's it for this. You're off the hot seat.
All right.
All right, next time, on next episode, we're going to be talking about preparation. Can you imagine that's what there's actually a process that should be.
Prep is primary, man.
Prep is primary. And we're also going to be talking about repairs. So if you would like to join in that conversation, make sure that you tune in next time on the Xano 521 podcast. We'll see you then.
Good day.
Veteran-owned Xano 521 is Central Florida's premier concrete coating company. When it comes to concrete coating, there is a difference. Only Xano 521 uses Pentec, the most advanced concrete coating solutions for residential and industrial applications. Driveways, garage floors, pool or patio decks. High shine, slip-resistant coatings in many shades and colors.
We are proud to be a veteran-owned company transforming concrete surfaces into works of art. For a free quote, visit xano521.com.
Xano 521 is the exclusive Pentec products dealer in Volusia and Flagler. We only deviate from the standard to exceed the standard by using only Pentec products, the highest quality products on the market today. The Pentec difference is clear when tested against other common chip coatings like epoxy and substandard polyurea. Our coatings are slip resistant and come in many shades and colors.
Xano 521 has transformed hundreds of concrete surfaces into works of art throughout Central Florida.
For a free quote, call 866-YES-XANO.
Volusia County. From DeLand to Daytona, New Smyrna to Deltona, Ormond Beach and Holly Hill, Xano 521 Concrete Coatings is your Florida concrete coating expert. We've transformed countless homes and businesses into works of art with our superior polyurea products and exclusive Pentec lifetime warranty. Don't just take our word for it. Our 5-star Google reviews speak for themselves. Give us a call or click the link to request a free quote. Zano 521 Concrete Coatings, turning concrete into art, one surface at a time.